Oh my God, man. It's Monday afternoon after another loss. That's five straight. The last time we lost five straight, the coach got fired. But as of 4 o'clock on Monday, that coach is still here. He doesn't even get to get called by his name anymore. And it just came out that Mike was put on IR. And and it's not the fact that he's hurt again, but it's the fact that he was having such a good game up to the injury. And what makes it even more frustrating is that now people are acting like Mike is just chopped liver, like, oh my God, he's injury prone. Well, that's a valid take. But oh, he's had all these inconsistencies as far as accuracy and playing well. And I'm like, bro, he's in his first year of starting, bro. The inconsistency was given. That's besides the point. So I want to show y'all his first half and some of the throws he made, because I'm like, wow, like this looks like a quarterback that we can work with, okay? And y'all will see why. So if y'all guys do enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more. Let's go and get into the tape. So this is the first play I want to look at. So the Falcons, we come out in the FIB formation, which means you have the formation into the boundary. So you see the balls on the right hash, and we have the strength of the formation into the boundary. Now what we're going to do is we're going to motion over David Sills across the formation. He's going to become the new number one receiver, okay? He's going to be running a curl, right? You're going to have Darnell Mooney running a OTB or over the ball route. Then you're also going to have Drake London running a curl and Kyle Pitts on the arrow route. This is a concept called Hank. This is normally against any kind of old school spot drop zone because it exploits zone coverage. You can see a lot of static routes just sitting down in space. So if you're teaching this coverage, what you would tell the quarterback is you would read the rotation of the safety, okay? So if we rotate down right here, you want to read away from that. So if we know he's rotating down, we know he's going back, we get a single high defense, we will work over here and we will work this curl flat defender right here. So if he stays high, you hit the check down or the swing route. If he stays low and goes down to that swing route, you hit the curl route. Now, if both safeties stay high, so we get a cover two or any kind of split field coverage, you would work this OTB route because it's going to be settling in space. We get this motion by Davis, so it's going to kind of undress the coverage a little bit, but you're going to see Mooney doesn't even push this all the way to where it needs to be because he sees that the linebacker's right here. So we're just going to settle up immediately and he catches it, but you know, he fumbles it right after, and then all that yardage we do get, we pretty much lose it. So good play by Mike, and we need to hold on to the ball right there because Mooney has just been tripping this year. Now this is Mike's next completion, and remember we got cover 6 last time. We're gonna get the same coverage, but we're gonna flip it, so it's cover 9 now. So y'all see that the ball is on the right hash again, and usually when you're calling cover 6, you're calling the quarter side to the wide side, okay, and you're calling the cover 2 side to the boundary. But this time what we're gonna get is we're gonna get the quarter side into the boundary, and then we're going to get the cover 2 side into the field. This linebacker right here, he's going to be dropping play in the quarter flat, and you're going to also have these guys dropping right here. So we have our 3 deep, 4 underneath. And I've said this before, you really call cover 6 and cover 9 based on where the best receiver is. So since he's right here and he's in the slot because he's off ball and he's flanking this receiver that's on the ball, you would call your coverage based on where Drake London is lining up. And so since he's to the field but he's in the slot, you want to call cover 2 to this side because you get a zone double on him. So you have somebody outside, you have somebody over top, and you also have somebody inside, okay? Because we're really not worried about where he's going, okay? He can run off the coverage, but we're still going to have somebody to account for him. If he just sits down right there, we got somebody for him. If he goes vertical, we got somebody for him. If he goes out, we got somebody for him. There's a zone double working on him wherever he's going, and somebody's accounting for him. But offensively, what we're getting here, we're getting daggers. So we already know that this concept is really just like a staple thing in the West Coast. So we're going to get a clear out route by Darnell Mooney, okay? But we know that if we get single high, this really converts into like a crossing route, trying to clear out that middle or that post safety to cross his face. But if it's too high, you're going to work to split the safeties, and that's what he's going to be doing. We got Drake London running this basic route. So there we go. He's running the dagger route. People call it dagger, basic dig, big dig, whatever you want to call it. But I call it just a simple dig route. Kyle Pitts is over here. He's going to be running just a deep stop to just hold coverage, and then we're going to get Charlie Warner checking, and then he's going to just release out, okay? I think Bijan's supposed to be flat control right here, but he ends up falling. So I think that's normally what we get right here. So we get a short return motion by Charlie Warner, and we do play action. Like I should have said this was a play action concept, but y'all been begging for more play action. I told y'all we're going to start seeing more and more play action as the season goes, and we're seeing that. And you see he sets up the throw. He throws it very early, very early. Okay, usually you would throw this probably when he gets probably about right about here, or when he's running this way, because you're always taught to get ready to catch it on the hash. But Mike pretty much threw this way before he gets to the hash, right? The ball's already out in the air. He throws it high to get it over these guys. Y'all been saying he can't layer balls, and he layers that perfectly. Okay, and also Drake London has a crazy catch radius. Okay, but this shows the anticipation. It shows the ball placement. He's on time. All of that, like, and he got extra yards, and we flipped the field off of that. Like, come on, y'all. We have a quarterback. This one was kind of tricky to figure out. So this is the next one we want to look at. I think this is the play right after that big gain on dagger. So conceptually, we're getting some I call stick basic. A lot of West Coast teams are starting to do it now, or stick, Z cross, whatever you want to call it. But basically, we're going to be getting a stick route by Kyle Pitts. So we already know that's a stick route, and we're going to get this arrow route to complement it. Because we all know if we look at stick, if we just do two guys right here, usually it would be this guy, and then he would be the one running the arrow route, and he could sit it down or keep it going if it's man. And this is pretty much what we're getting right here. And this is called to be a pure progression. That's why I call it stick basic, or some people call it stick Z cross, where you're going to get a crossing route by Drake London. You're going to get a backside dig by Darnell Mooney, because think about it. This is going to be the progression. It's rhythm to one hitch, 2, 3, and then you would have your running back be the swing route over here as the check down. Now, initially, I thought the Panthers were in man coverage because they do pretty much lock this up over here, where they have J.C. Horn locked right here. He's going to be pretty much locked on Charlie Warner, but I really figured out that it was just a 3 deep there underneath, but, you know, they always lock this guy since he's into the boundary, and that's J.C. Horn, right? So we get, once again, 3 deep, 3 underneath. He's going to come down and play the seam flat. This guy right here is blitzing. He's playing the middle hook. He's playing the other seam flat, okay? Now, this was I would consider this a coverage bust because Drake ran wide open, but I do want y'all to take note of the command of the offense because, once again, this guy's blitzing. And we've had protection issues as far as, like, picking up blitzers and stunts and all of that. So you're going to see we're going to get a fake count, and we see that he wanted to go. He was ready to go, y'all. And so Bijan, you know, if also I should say this, Mike turns and tells Bijan something. Okay, I'm thinking he's probably saying something protection wise, but if we also remember, we saw that fake count and he kind of walked up to the line, and so Mike points it out for Bijan, and Bijan sees that. Okay, you see how his head just turns ever so slightly. Look at that. His head turns just a little bit, and so when he gets that ball, look at that, boom, he goes and picks it up in the B gap, boom. All right. And we see this coverage take shape where, once again, we have JC locked on right here. This is seam to flat, so he's going to go buzz down and play this. But if we look at this, there's nobody for Drake London. In theory, it would be this guy, but I'm not sure what he was doing, okay? You don't want an outside linebacker trying to chase him in coverage because that's a pass rusher, okay? The only other thing right here is Morik, but he's supposed to be playing the post, and he's running a crosser. He's running away from him. Okay, but let's look at this. Let's look at this for Mike. So look, remember what I said. This is rhythm, okay, and we know that this safety's crashing down. Okay, then we got the one hitch, and then we get 2 hits right here, and he's throwing it to open space, and we get a big play again. Like, I don't know what y'all be seeing, bro, but I understand he's inconsistent, but he's a young quarterback. It's gonna happen. But when he's in rhythm, on time, doing all that, bro, he's precise. All right, this is the next to last play right here, and I want to show y'all this that I found in the Shanahan playbook, and it's called a read rail. So this is the one I want y'all to look at. This is the play action concept that we're doing now. I don't want y'all to think this is the same exact play that we're running, but we're running the same concept, okay? Because what's going to end up happening is Kyle's going to be running this crossing route or high cross, whatever you want to call it. But the whole thing is we're using some of the base stuff and we're building off of it, okay? And it's about time. It's about time. I don't think y'all get it, bro. But look, this is what's going on. So we're gonna get Drake London. He's gonna be motioning over, and he's gonna be the one running the rail route. Okay. Then we have Darnell Mooney, who's gonna be taking this inside release and running this read route. So remember, it's a read route, so you have to do something based on the coverage. So if you're capped, you're gonna sit it down. If you're not capped, you're gonna keep it going. Okay. And remember, like I said, Kyle is gonna be doing this high cross route, you know, kind of like a progression thing to where if these guys are overly adjusting to this play action fake and adjusting to that motion, okay, that's going to be open space over the middle. But grant this route right here that we're targeting is down the seam. So I will consider this over the middle anyways, because one, it's inside the numbers, and two, it's not an outbreaking route. It's settling down over the middle. Now defensively, once again, they were in cover 9, but the motion kind of changes that. So once again, he was still going to be playing flat. You have your half, you have your quarter, you have your quarter, and that's pretty much the shell of the defense, where once again, like, he's pretty much locked on man to man. Drake would in theory be accounted for by this guy, but since that motion is coming, it's going to be Drake on Darnell Mooney, and then this switcher is going to pretty much open up a void in the zone, which should have been accounted for, but once again, we know rules are an illusion. So we get this play action going again. So you get the motion, he's going to motion and then change the number count, okay? JC Horn has to back up so he can get vision on this stack, right? We're going to get this run action going towards the concept, okay? We want to get these guys flowing this way because we also want to hit this crossing route too. But see, Mike is going to set up to throw. He's going to reverse pivot, I think that's what we call it. And you see, once again, remember, we look at that read route. If you're capped, you're going to sit it down and work back to the quarterback. But since this guy, if he was right here, we would keep that going, okay? But since he's so far off, we're just going to settle down and take the free yards. And you see, Mike is able to throw that with some anticipation. He throws it on his outside shoulder too, okay? I'm not sure why, but he did, so I like it. And then this is the last one. This is pretty much all go special. So if you don't know what that is, it's literally just 4 verts. It's 2 different names for it. But what we're getting here is we're going to get Bijan. He's going to do an exit motion, and that's going to pull this linebacker out. But right here, we're going to get Kyle on this seam read. So we already know that it's a seam route, and we're going to be bending inside if we get middle of the field open. And we're also having him run out here, okay? We're also going to get the same thing on the other side where we get a mandatory outside release, and we get this seam route by Drake London. Now, I don't know if his has the bender rules to it, but I'm pretty sure it does. So we're just going to put that there too, just in case. And remember, like I said before, this is 9 times out of 10 man coverage because he's flying out there to go get him. But there's also a world where this is actually quarters, but either way, since we have 4 routes going vertical, it still plays out like man to man, because remember, if we look at the rules of quarters, you're going to have, if this guy goes vertical, you know, you're going to pretty much just deliver him to the safety. But the reason why I say this is man coverage is because this safety, he rolls to the middle of the field. But even then, we have a 3-by-1 right here. So you already know he's probably playing poach. So that's why I said it's probably a variation of quarters. But either way, it plays out like man to man based on the route distributions and the coverage checks. But this was the play where we hit Drake down the seam, and it was pretty much like a jump ball. We're going to see here that motion pulls that linebacker out, because remember, this is a fast 3 alert. So we already know that this is a quarter, this is a quarter, he's the quarter flat, okay? So he's the apex. So if anything goes to the flat, you got to fly out there and go get it, okay? Fast to the flat, anything, that's you. Okay, so we know that motion pulls him out, and that leaves, once again, the quarters element of this. So if 1 goes vert, I got you. If 2 goes vert, I got you. He's favoring this side of the field because that's where the most guys are. He's getting his eyes over here. We know that he's locked on man-to-man backside, and his job to deliver this to the safety. But since we're in a 3-by-1, we're really a 3-by-2 now since we got 5 guys out on the route. He's essentially locked on man-to-man because he's trying to go get him. So this still leaves him isolated on Drake London, okay? And when we watch this, you see he has just give Drake a chance. He threw a back shoulder. Drake's able to box him out, and we get down inside the 3. But the thing is, even if it was like, let's say it was like some sort of cover 3 or whatever, Drake London, Mike did a very good job of working away from the rotation. And when you work away from the rotation, which means, once again, he's rotating towards the middle of the field. I think he's playing that poach stuff. You're going to work whatever he's rotating away from. Now, if he stayed true and he just dropped back and stayed tight to the hash right here, okay, then I think there would be a world where he tries to hit Kyle on this bender, okay, because it's open too, right? Because remember, if he's staying packed onto the hash right here, then you're going to be having this window that's very big to hit, and Kyle can walk in for a touchdown. Now, granted, he could probably still do it either way, okay, but I like the throw that he made right here. You're trusting your guys, you're trusting your best receiver on a lesser guy, and he makes a play, and we get an explosive off of it too. So I'm not mad at either decision. Bro, it's so hilarious to me. People are actually thinking, oh man, we might be looking for a new quarterback next year. Why would we do that? Like, it makes no sense, because if we get off of Kirk's money in this offseason, remember, we have Mike on a first round deal that's guaranteed money. So we'd be in dead cap, eating dead cap again. Like, we're not looking for another quarterback, y'all. Y'all, I don't know why y'all do this overreaction shit every time something like this happens, but I'm not even gonna really entertain it. If y'all guys do enjoy this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more and more stuff coming. Bro, god damn.